Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Today's episode, powered by Hayabusa, is 6 ways that you can improve to become a more elite and advanced striker. All right, in today's episode, I'm breaking down 6 different ways that you can improve to become a more elite striker. A lot of times you think maybe more combinations, more speed, more all of the different attributes of being a better fighter. Yes, that's going to all help you be better. Be faster? Yes, you're going to be a better fighter. Be more explosive? Yes, it's going to make you a better fighter. Be more athletic? Yes. But these concepts in fighting, okay, fight-related concepts, are really going to help you improve. And even when you watch fights, you're going to help see who's doing these elite things and where you can work it to get to that level. Okay? So let's get into number 1. Number 1 is going to be all about feinting and angles, all right? Now, I can't just sit here and walk in a straight line and then throw my strikes. As you get more advanced, my opponent's probably trying to draw me in, trying to counter me, so I need to safely set up my attack. So that's with feinting. Now, with feinting, you got to make them believable, right? And as I'm feinting, you notice I might feint to take an angle, okay? To me here, move feinting here, creating to feint an angle. Now, with feinting, there's leg feints, right? So I can throw a kick here, boom, next thing you know, I feint with my legs. I could throw a right hand, feint with my hands to throw my other side. I might feint with my jab to throw an overhand. I might even feint to throw my calf kicks. So using the feint, creating small angles with it to set up your attacks, very, very important. Now, step 2 is the ability to fight in both stances. And fighting in both stances is one thing, but how do you transition between both of them is what makes you an advanced striker. If I'm just sitting here now and then I just switch stances in mid-range, that's not a very advanced way of transitioning between the stances. So this is where you need to start developing shifts and back steps. So if I'm here in front of Matt and Matt moves backwards, I need to shift my feet, right? Or if he's pressuring me, I might back step into southpaw and be able to move and attack. So it's one thing to be able to fight in both stances, but how do you transition? So again, shifting, shift and shoot. I can be in southpaw. Shift, shoot is a good one. Shifting, shooting into combinations. I can do back step combinations. Okay, I could even step here, switch stances. But what am I doing with the stance switch? Am I circling in the right way? Am I moving on the open stance? Am I circling around, you know? I'm staying here, circling. Am I throwing the right strike selection when I'm in the right stances, okay? So movement and strike selection and transitioning between both stances is what's gonna make you to that advanced high level. The third thing you have to be an elite striker, and what you really need to improve on, is the confidence of hand fighting. Now, the more you get into small gloves in MMA, this concept becomes very important, but same thing with big gloves and clinching. I can't just walk in here and throw knees, I have to control hands. So being able to get the ability to hold hands, to grab, okay, is very important. So how do I enter into a clinch? That's part of hand fighting. How do I shell my opponent up to grab the hands? Now from here, I can manipulate the punch, I can go in for a takedown, and ultimately I'm defending myself from getting hit. But now the tactics from the hand fighting is what becomes important. Do I know how to split with elbows? Can I guard manipulate to punches, right? Pull the guard to punch, to elbows, my different knee attacks. Can I create angles to shuffle off? My push-off attacks back into the hands. So you can see controlling the hands, mixing strikes, guard manipulating, mixing in push-off attacks, different types of knees, takedowns, sweeps, dumps, trips. That all builds the hand fighting concept, okay? Now, some of the best in the world do it very good, you know, like the Daniel Cormiers, the John Jones, the small glove fighters who know how to manipulate hand frames, guard, even boxers, when you see them using guards on the inside, okay? These are all forms of hand fighting, you know? So be aware of how to control your opponent's hands to be able to kind of set up your attacks. Now, number 4 is the ability to fight moving backwards. We all work on pads, we all work on the bag, everything is forward combinations. But how do you draw someone in to really attack them? You have to have a system of fighting backwards. So one of the main ones we work here at Bazooka is being able to draw somebody in, and as the attack comes, be able to move my feet as I go backwards. So I might go bang, boom, okay? I can go jab, cross, hook, bang, bang, boom. Then I can create angles off of that. 1, 2, 3, creating that movement and backwards fighting. The backwards fighting could be backstep knees. I could backstep hooks into combinations. I have to have a system of attacking and fighting backwards. Now, I have videos on this, and even if you head over to bazookatraining.com, we have a system on how to do it. I teach you exiting back with the rear hand or 1, 2, 3s. There's so many options to fight backwards. You got to build it into your style. All right, number 5, the ability to defend and counter in various ways. All right. Now, when you first learn, you might learn just to parry. We'll do a jab cross hook to describe it. So most beginners are going to work one form of defense. Okay. Second one, maybe a shell. Then you work the head movement. Okay. That's very basic. Now, you have to be able to, one, use range to understand defense. So if I'm close, I might use head guard with a parry. You know, I might use parry into head guard. I might parry wedge. So mixing and matching different forms of defense is very important. But to take it to the next level is, am I trying to stay long or am I trying to pressure, right? You have to be able to have the confidence to do both. So if Matt throws a 1, 2, 3 and I want to stay long, I might stay long here. But if I'm losing the fight, I can't defend this way. So I have to have the ability to use different forms, pressure, and to be able to stay inside if I want to, you know? So that's the game. So be able to defend and pressure or evade and move and defend. So understanding the different range to defend. And then kick fight or counter. If I know I'm staying long and I want to kick fight, I'm going to be on the outside more. Bang, you know, I'm going to stay here. Boom, find my timing. If I want to counter with punches more, I'm going to use more of a pressuring style, right? I'm going to stay inside. So understand that and have the confidence and the ability to do both, right? Now, the 6th and final one that you have to work on is controlling your opponent in the ring or the cage, right? Now, how many times have you seen someone pressure fighting and the opponent just keeps dancing around them? How do you lateral track? How do you control them? I am a pressure fighter. If you watch my fights, I like to put my opponents against the ropes. But if I only go in a straight line, I'm never going to get them there. So I have to have the footwork and the setups to be able to get them there. So a few tricks here is I can't enter on a straight line. If I just keep going straight, Matt circles out and I'm gone. Right? So what I have to do is I have to cut the ring off. So as I go in here, Matt goes, I cut him off. As I come, I learn to stay here. If he wants to come forward, I stop him. If he goes left or right, I track, okay? Even if he gets in front of me, past me now, instead of me turning, all I do is I point my front foot. And all of a sudden I'm there. Even if he circles, I point my front foot. Okay, I use my front foot to follow Matt, and this keeps me tracking him. There is a lot more detail, there's a lot more advancedness to it, but understanding that. But it may be the opposite. I may want to draw my opponent in. So how am I drawing them in? Am I pulling them in here to attack this way? Am I creating angles? Am I kind of being able to draw them in effectively? I can draw them into calf kicks and then create things off of that. But I have to move my opponent and put them where I want them. If I want them in that corner, how do I get them in that corner? I have to be able to create a system here to be able to cut them off, to be able to get them where I want them, all right? So you got to control the movement of your opponent. When I get them to the ropes, this is where I can use my low kicks, my tactics, my strategy. But the whole point is, how do you get them there in an effective way? One little quick advanced point I'll give you is using what is a zigzag step. If I just want to move Matt backwards, I'm going to move him here. If I go in a straight line, it's easy for him to pick a direction and get out. But when I enter with a zigzag line, I'll show you first here, I zigzag this way. Okay, by zigzagging and the ability to switch stances confidently, obviously you need to, this will push Matt back in a straight line. So if I cut this way, he cut. See, I'm ability to cut him off. And he has to stay on the inside. Because if I cut this side, he goes this way. As I cut this way, he goes the other way. All right? So learning what is called ring control, lateral tracking, drawing them in, understanding where your opponent is inside the ring or the cage, and you putting him there is important, okay? So I just gave you 6 different ways, plus a lot of little details. That's probably up to 10 different ways that you can practice, think about, and ways to become an elite and advanced striker. In my curriculum at Bazooka, you have to be able to do the stance switches, the back steps, before you get into my advanced class. So all very important depending on your team, your learning, but these tips, watch the best in the world. Watch the Israel Adesanyas do this very well. Okay, the most elite strikers in the world can do these 6 things and do it very well. Okay, hope you enjoyed today's episode. Make sure you keep liking, subscribing, and sharing to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. And make sure you support our channel sponsors. We have Hayabusa by going to Hayabusa Fight, all linked in the description below. Perfect Sports Nutrition. Make sure you get all your supplements. That Altered State pre-workout gets me amped up for all my travel and all my workouts, as well as the BCAAs and the protein, my daily staples. Last but not least, we have bazookatraining.com, where you get online curriculum taught from me by less than $10 a month, and you have now probably close to 300 archive videos plus 4 brand new videos every single Monday. They go from bag work, sparring drills, tutorials, home workouts. We got everything covered for you. 4 brand new videos every single Monday, and we'll see you there. Okay, like, subscribe, share. Talk to you soon at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Welcome to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA online training. I'm Bazooka Joe Valtellini, the owner here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Over the past year, I've designed and created a website to teach Bazooka curriculum at home and across the world. The purpose of this website is for you to, 1, hit your fitness and health goals, all while learning world-class martial arts instruction from me. The beautiful thing about this website, it's geared for all levels. So if you're learning martial arts for the first time as a beginner, we help you progress into the bigger stages. And if you're a pro fighter, guess what? We have different fight concepts for you to improve your tool set and your skills in the ring or cage. As the fastest rising kickboxing world champion and a lifelong martial artist with over 30 years of experience, I've been able to combine my passion for martial arts and teaching to create this website. This website is going to give you some of the tricks, secrets, and inside look at some of the training I use to win my world title. Once you subscribe to this site, you're going to be getting weekly training videos and tutorials that you can do from anywhere. The sections are broken up into 3 parts. The first is bag workout. So if you have a bag at home or at your gym, you can use these workouts to supplement your training. The second is at-home workouts. A lot of us don't have the room for a bag or a bag in general, so these workouts are for no equipment needed and you can do them anywhere. And finally, the tutorial section. If you're having any problems with a specific technique or fight concept that's covered in any of the workouts, go to the tutorial section, learn the technique, and then go back to the workout, and this time, do it with proper technique. One of the added benefits once you subscribe is the forums section, where you can get a more personalized experience where you can ask questions and I'll be able to go in there and answer them. It's all about building a team and a community of martial artists helping each other grow. So subscribe now to get access to all the videos plus more so you can be part of the squad here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA.